how is the lighting in here? I know it probably sucks because I don't have the lamps up to kind of bring some light this way. And if you hear lawn care stuff, they're doing the yard stuff outside. Anyway, hey family, welcome back to another video. I'm so glad to have you here. Today is a much better day. I'm not so emotional. If you watched yesterday's video, I was all over the place. Doesn't take much to make me cry, okay? Some people think I'm hard as a dang on brick, but I'm really a softie when it comes to certain things, you know, that touch my heart in a special kind of way. But I hope you guys are having a great day. Is Booby trying to stick out? It is. Booby trying to come out and say hey too. Hope you guys are having a great day. I hope the weather is amazing where you are. I'm so glad that we're having these much sunnier days, warmer days. I think the high here is supposed to be like 71 or something like that. Fine for me. I told y'all 55, 60 is summer for us here in North Carolina because we have the most bipolar weather, I think, in any other state in the dang on world. Like, we can have 5 different seasons going on in a week, literally, here in this state. So to see it being kind of consistent makes me excited about things to come, okay? So first I have a story time to tell you guys. Number one, that happened to me yesterday where I literally had to release Shar in public. I try not to ever do that because I always try to vibrate high, like I tell y'all. But sometimes, I also wanted to make this video about questions that have been raised in regards to my van life continuation with now having they in my life. Like, how's that going to work? Are you still going to do it? I'm here to answer all of those questions for you. And I really wanted to, I should have had it pulled up prior to, like I'll tell you production, the production. I think she sent it yesterday, maybe. Or is that old? I feel like, did I delete it, y'all? I hope I didn't. Okay, nope, here it is right here. I thought I had saved it. Okay, so she asked some questions that a lot of you probably had the same questions about. And so I'm going to answer them from her because she actually has, it looks like about 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. She has 5 questions that pretty much would, I would assume, answer the questions, probably the same questions you guys had or have. Or maybe even ask in the comments or whatever the case is. I don't know. But anyway, let me give y'all a story time first. Okay. So I use 3 different postal services to mail you guys' packages, right? I have a main one that's right up the street that I go to. And that's the one I tell you, they always tease me when I walk in with my bags. It's like, oh, here she come, y'all. It's big money. Y'all want to know what money look like? This is her. Okay, you know, always joking. And it's usually the same 3 people, the same 3 men, or either there's 2 men and then a lady. Good vibes, jokes, haha, whatever, okay? When I don't have a whole lot to send, I'll use AC Hardware because they have a little post office in the back of the store. So, and it's like a little older lady. She works right there by herself, and, you know, she'll scan herself in, no questions asked, keep it moving, right? And so the third place is closer to Minx. I've used them many times before, and it seems like I always get the same guy every time, but I've never had a problem. So yesterday, I was out doing my errands. Red was with me. She came to visit, and she came right when I was about to be, you know, doing all my stuff or whatever. So she figured I'll just ride, hang out with you, Mom, ride with you, yada, yada, yada. Run your errands with you. No big deal, right? So I got my mask on. And yesterday, I had to change banks. Okay. After 25 plus years of being with the same bank, I had to leave them and take all my money out and go put it in a different bank. Credit union. I'm a credit union girl, not a bank girl. I'm a credit union girl. So took all my money out, put it over here in this credit union, did all that jazz, blah, 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 whatever, right? So since I'm already on that side of town, I got two huge bags. The one you can see here and then the other one that I carry filled to the brim with you guys' orders. So that post office is literally right down the street from my new bank, right? So it only made sense that I, run in there and ship the packages, right? So I go in, I got my two bags, okay, and he spoke, hey, how you doing today? As I'm coming in. Hey, how you doing today? I was like, good, whatever. So he said, how can I help you today? I said, well, I need to ship all these packages, right? So he said, how many packages is it? And I said, well, I don't know. It's a little under 100. I mean, I don't know. So he was like, well, let me get your scan sheet. Now, I had heard the term scan sheet before, and I do know that you can print out like all the barcodes on one sheet, and then they just scan the sheet, take all your items, and it'll still calculate them into the system as being received from the post office. So then you can go track the packages. Well, I tried that on Etsy. I tried that whole, because it would make my life easier too. I'm not trying to make my life complicated. I'm not trying to go in the post office and hold the line up with 1,000 packages or whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? And when I tried to do it on Etsy, it just did it like one scan sheet at a time. It didn't put everything on one sheet. So I don't know how to figure all that out. Anywho, because I've never had a problem with somebody just scanning the packages, I didn't even think it was a big deal. I hadn't thought twice about it, okay? He tells me that he's really only supposed to scan or do 5 or 6 of those packages. 5 or 6. So I had to process it first because at this moment, because I hadn't had a problem up until this moment, right? I tried to process what he was saying. So you're telling me, out of all these packages, and I'm in a post office where you ship packages at, okay? Literally all you're doing is scanning, dropping them on the scale, scanning, tossing them in the bin. Like everybody else that I take these packages to. And you're telling me that you can only do 5 or 6. I've never heard such. Okay? So I'm trying to process it because at this very moment, Shar wants to speak up, right? And I'm trying to, I'm out in public, elderly people coming in and, whatever. So I said, sir, politely, I said, sir, I do this almost every day. Okay? And I've never, I have shipped more than what I have today. Okay? And I've never heard a postmaster man say he can't do more than 5 or 6 packages. Ever. I just put them on the counter. They scan and go. He asked me, well, where do you go? Like what? I said the post office, other post offices, okay? Now she's coming out. Other post offices, sir, where this is what they do. Scan people's packages in to be shipped. Where does it say you can only do 5 or 6 packages? Show me that. Show me that. So he then goes on to say, if my manager was here, he wouldn't allow me to do all these packages. Again, I need you to explain to me. Help me to understand how I'm standing in a post office where you ship packages, right? And you're telling me that you can only do 5 of all these that I have. So what do? Go to another post office and say, hey, can you do the rest of these? Or can you pick 5 and say, look, I need an explanation because I do this every day. Now I don't come here every day, but I do this every day. And I've never heard anybody say that, right? So now he's going back and forth with me. He's legit going back and forth. Like, I mean, I'm with an attitude. I'm gonna do it, but I'm just telling you, we're only supposed to do 5 or 6. Okay, again, sir, show me where so that it can make sense to me, so that I'll know never to come to this post office ever again, where it says you can only scan 5 or 6 packages. Show me that in writing, please, please. Okay, Char's all the way out. I don't took the mask down. I need you to see my face at this point. I don't have anything to show you. Okay, so where are you getting the information from? My manager. I said, well, okay, you said your manager ain't here, so who's over you today? So I know somebody, okay, maybe not your immediate manager isn't here, but there's somebody supervising somewhere in this place. Bring them up to the front so I can talk to them, okay? Please. I need an understanding as to how you're not going to, or telling me that you can only do 5 or 6. That number is just baffling to me. And I got this bag filled, stuff falling out this bag, and the bigger bag is filled to the absolute brim, to the point I had 2 packages under my arm plus the 2 bags. So I wasn't playing yesterday. I mean, I'm not trying to upset you. I'm just telling you. I said, and that's fine. Bring someone out that can verify what the hell you're telling me, because this is what I do every day. So if I'm in this area with these packages, I need to know that this is a post office I don't need to use if you can only do 5 or 6 packages. So I need clarification. This is a business I'm running, sir. Bring the person out that can tell me what you're saying is valid. Mask is off, okay? Full blown, black lady going crazy, okay? World star, whatever. Just put the packages on the counter. I'm going to go and do them. Just put them up here. I said, but I don't want you to do them if you got an attitude, though. Because is this not your job? I just needed help understanding how I'm in a post office where you ship merchandise. And you're telling me there's a limit on the amount of merchandise I can ship. I've never heard that before. I just wanted clarification. That's all I wanted. Okay. Char, please put the mask back on. Okay. Even though the partition is up, honey, I'm sure I was spitting all over the place. It went, my blood pressure just shot up because nobody ever came to the front to help. The other lady that was helping, I said, ma'am, I'm trying to get her attention. Ma'am, is that so y'all can only ship 5 or 6 packages? I just need to know, because I do this every day. I just need to know. She ain't want no parts of it. Okay. Now, seem like to me, y'all work together. If that is a fact that you can't ship but 5 or 6 packages at a post office when you have multiples like I have, seem like you'd have backed up your coworker, right? I mean, if that's so, she drops her head like, I don't want no parts of this. This lady is going crazy in here, and I ain't answering you. Okay? She never opened her mouth. She just kept right on scanning and working with the lady she was working with. And even the man behind me said, 5 or 6? I said, sir, you heard him, right? Look, I'm going to bring somebody else in. You heard him. 5 or 6. You see these bags right here. 5 or 6 is all he's saying he can do. And I'm at the post office. Oh, we're not at the post office. I'll give you clarification. Oh, we're not at the post office, sir. He was confused too. Like, huh? I just didn't think he wanted to do it. Okay? And I'm telling him, you're not creating labels for me, sir. All you're doing is scanning the package so that my people can track their packages and know that they've been received by the post office. I do not like going in a place and them telling me, just put them over there, we'll get them. I don't like doing it. I want proof on a receipt that said this package was received, scanned into the system. In the event I need to track, do whatever. Even though I create a tracking number through Etsy, I can't track the movement of it until the post office scans it in their system. So I'm not going anywhere where they say, just put them over there, I'll get them. No, I want a receipt saying I brought them here, and plus I need that receipt for my business. Okay? I said all that to say. Mask was off. I lost my cool. He get the packages. I put them on the counter, and I'm still pissed off, but I'm being as polite as I can, and I'm putting them on the counter in a way that is easy for him to grab, scan, and drop in the bin. Right. So I'm creating a little pile. It ain't in his way, by the way, but it's easy for him. I'm trying to help him out since you sold on 5 or 6, right? And we got probably about 100, give or take. I'm stacking them up. I'm letting him get, every time the stack go down, I restack it up again just so he can grab, scan, and go. He tells me, you're overwhelming me with all of these packages piled up here on this counter. I said, so you would rather I give them to you one at a time? 5 or 6, man? Huh? That's what I said. So you'd rather for me to just hand you one package at a time while I'm trying to help speed this line up. They're not in your way. All you're doing is grabbing, dropping them on the scale, scanning them, putting them in the bin. So I'm helping you. I'm working at the post office at this point. What is the problem? I said, it's really sad that you work with the public at a post office. And this is how you treat a regular customer coming in here. I am very, very disappointed in you. I said, and what's really sad is you might not even remember me because you see a lot of people. I said, but you and I had a conversation a while back while bringing packages in here. I didn't hear the 5 or 6 that day because you were flirting with me. You was letting me know you was going to Tennessee for the weekend and what were my plans for the weekend and yada, yada, yada. 5 or 6 was never mentioned that day. And I had about 50 or 60 packages. But today, you went away and you don't. Okay. Anywho. That was y'all story time for today. Okay. So let's get to what you're here for. The questions and answers. So I'm going to put sis on blast because she did. I'm put you on blast. She considers me her little sis. And her name is Tina. So Tina, I'm putting you on blast. And I'm using your questions to answer those who probably have the same exact questions that you have as well. Probably. And it probably will sum it all up. Let's see. So I think her first question said, if you were still married and in a healthy relationship, would you still have the desire to hit the road in a bus to travel? Now, when I read that question, I wasn't sure if she was talking about in a healthy relationship, marriage with Monte, or if she's saying if I marry Ron and I'm in a healthy relationship, would I still want to? I didn't know which way to take it, so I'll answer it both ways. If I was in a healthy relationship with Monte, if that's the question, right? Would I still desire to hit the road? Yeah, the answer would be yeah, because I hit the road as a truck driver with him, even though that was on a different scale because it was a paid job and this is more for travel and fun. Yeah, I probably still would have because I can't even really use the word healthy in that sense with Monte, kind of, sort of. So if you're talking about Monte, I would say, yeah, I still would definitely be on the bus rolling, okay? Because, yeah. Ron, on the other hand, would I still do it? Yeah, I would and am. I am. But I have an explanation for that, okay? I have an explanation for that. So to answer that question, let's repeat it. if you were still married and in a healthy relationship, would you still have the desire to hit the road in a bus and travel? I'm answering yes, both for if you're talking about Monte, yes, if you're talking about Ron. I still would. Okay. Her second question was, if so, how would your partner be affected by your journey to travel, and would you have downsized to a smaller unit? Okay, so even prior to the decision to really go forth with the bus, van life, travel life, all of that, right? Downsizing it was just necessary for me to do, because I'm not really about at this stage in my life, I'm not really about wasting a ton of money. Yes, I did move from a 2 to a 3, which was way more expensive. Hell, they all expensive over here. Let's just be real. They're new. We're sitting by $1 million homes, so they all cost. Okay, no matter what size you're in. Okay, they all are expensive apartments. Okay, but I did intentionally move to this 3 for this room right here. This idea, this vision I had, this hobby that turned into a real life business. That's why I went back up to a 3. The reality of being here in the 3-bedroom unit is that it's very spacious, as you guys know. It's very, very spacious. And I'm not into the entertaining as much, as far as having guests come over and stay, daughters, yada, 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 all that jazz. And it only makes sense to me that I don't use not even half, way less than half. I use so little of all this space, but yet I pay so much to live here, to just occupy a little corner of this room, this apartment. I'm in this room the most. I barely sleep in the master. Okay. I don't go in the guest bedroom, legit. I don't use the hall bathroom. Like, I don't utilize my full money's potential in this apartment. I just don't. Okay. So I still would have downsized anyway, because I'm over stuff. I'm just over so much stuff in my space, right? And with bringing in the travel of the bus, yeah, it's saving me money. So there's money that could go toward the travel. Obviously, it could go, toward the travel by downsizing, and downsize it just makes more sense. I don't need a ton of space. Like, the older I get, the more I realize I literally do not need all that space. I don't like doing a whole lot of cleaning. I am beyond the whole full-on entertaining lifestyle. Like, I just want it simple, to the point, chill, whatever. You know what I'm saying? The 1-bedroom unit is still more space than I personally need. I probably could do really well in like a micro studio. Like, honestly, like, that's how little space I need, and why it is so easy to part with stuff. It's just stuff. And if I feel like at this point, this stuff is weighing me down. Like, it's just like, it's more to clean. I just want the most simplest life. I would much rather be outside than in here anyway. Okay, enjoying nature and outside. That's where I find my life at, outside, not in here surrounded by, of course, beautiful things, as I used to be in my life. So yes, number one, I still would downsize and am. And you also asked, you said, if so, how would your partner be affected by your journey to travel? Well, we're going to talk about, we're done with Monte right now, because that's not who I'm with, okay? When I had the conversation with Ron about the whole bus van life situation early on, right? he was down for the cause. Like, wow, that's pretty damn cool that you could even do that. Like, that's like some real life retired elderly people type stuff, but in a younger version. That's cool. Like that's cool. I like that idea, right? This was in the early beginnings. As we continued to get a little bit more serious about each other, I asked myself the question. Now, he hadn't already expressed, he thought it was a cool idea. I should still do it, whatever the case may be. But I asked myself the question on my own. Sharon, could you leave him and get on the road? Basically, you would be ending what is about to get started. Because, again, all of it is unknown. From getting out there in the bus to even he and I. You know what I mean? It's all an unknown, day-by-day process, right? So I asked myself that very question. Can I leave this man that I have pretty much been waiting on all my damn life? Could I leave him and get on the bus? Like, I'm doing the weigh the options, the pros and the cons. What's more important to me? Then I had to take myself back to the reason why I was getting on the bus, the van, the whatever, the travel. And then I had to go back and look at what I asked for that came and found me. And I had to weigh it out, right? So it scared me a little bit because I was like, oh my God, I never thought about it that way. Because I honestly didn't think Ron and I was going to progress the way we did. I thought it was just going to be another one of them stories in my book. You know what I'm saying? But it turned out that, he is, very much in my life. And so I had the conversation with him because it started to bother me. And I was like, what should I do? Like, what should I do at this point? Like, I was so dead set on the whole thing or whatever, right? He said to me, listen, sometimes you have to look at things not on the grand scheme of things as a big whole, right? Sometimes you got to look at it at a half angle, like half of it. Not the whole picture, but half of the picture, right? With that being said, he let me know that I still think the van life idea is a great idea, right? These are his words. It is a great idea. He said, who says that you have to get out there and travel the entire United States all by yourself for years at a time or whatever the case and never come back home or whatever? And why can't you have the best of both worlds? Why can't you have the travel life where I can travel with you, and then your home life where we can still be together? You don't have to have the entire thing, Sharon. Again, you're going into it not even knowing if you're going to like it anyway. So why not just see what half of it looks like and this half over here, and then you will have both. Those were his words. He also said, how many houses have you passed where there's an RV parked somewhere on their yard, their property or whatever, and cars and whatever? So we clearly know they live there in their house, but that RV is for travel. And I said, well, a lot. He said, so what makes this any different? You park the van is parked when we're not traveling. Okay. When we are, we're in the, whatever you create, we go. We out. Just like that. We get the travel aspect of it. We get the togetherness of it. Made it that simple. That simple. And I was like, oh, thank you. That makes sense to me. That makes so much sense. Okay. Hopefully that answered that question. Okay. Wait a minute. As part of the one she asked, if so, how would your partner be affected by your journey to travel, and would you have downsized to a smaller unit? So to answer that, I just explained how he explained to me it doesn't have to affect either one of us. We can have the best of both worlds. And yes, I still would downsize. I still am downsizing to a smaller unit for sure. Um, she says, I know how complacent people can be in their habits to do what they want and how they want. Considering your relationship with Monte has ended and you're moving on to a new one. Okay, I think that was like a statement to the question too, I guess. So then she said, do you think your habits will affect this new relationship? Now, when she said that, I had to go back to Monte, I guess. I don't know. Do you think your habits will affect this new relationship? I'm not sure, Tina, what habits you're specifically speaking of. Like, I don't know, like, what habits. So I didn't really know how to answer that question. So I'm gonna just assume. This is what I'm assuming. You know they say when you assume you make an ass out of yourself, but I'm just going to make an ass out of myself real quick because I don't know what you mean. I'm assuming being that Monte was at the very top of that, where you said considering your relationship with Monte has ended and you are moving on to a new one. Then you went on to say, do you think your habits will affect your new relationship? So I'm going to assume that you mean my dealings with Monte, will they affect my new relationship? Whatever problems, situations Monte and I had, will they carry on to Ron and I? That's what I'm going to just assume that's what you meant. And the answer to that is no. And here's why. Because while Monte and I had a very long history together, right? Long history, a lot of memories, and a lot of stuff that never happened that typically happens in relationships that couples experience. We didn't, okay? So it wasn't all bad, but when it was horrible, okay? And the good that we had in our relationship was very mediocre. Okay, it was very mediocre. So there were really no habits that I created while I was with Monte. Like I said before, I'll say it again. I've never, ever, ever been the woman who will go through your phone, go through your pockets, go through your computer. I'm just not her. Okay, I ain't got that much time on my hands, and I really don't give a damn that much for real because it always comes to me anyway. I don't have to go searching for anything. It automatically comes to me. Never fails, right? So him cheating or stepping out or whatever, that could be anybody, okay? Cheating to me is a choice. It's just a choice that you make, him or her. It is an actual choice to say, I'm going to cheat, I'm going to sleep with this person, I'm going to entertain this person. It is a choice. It's not an accident. You don't fall in it, you don't fall on it. There's no accident in that. It's preparation, right? With that, I have learned that every man is different, okay? And I can't allow and will not allow the relationship, the marriage that I had with Monte dictate my new relationship on a more serious level. I would never ever bring nothing from that marriage, that relationship with him to my new man. I have to give my new man a clean slate and let him create a new story for us, right? And base how I feel and what happens off of our new story. our story over here with me and Monte, that chapter is closed and dead. Okay? Done. No more. So I'm not sure what habits you are speaking of. I will say this though. I will say this because this is definitely important, I think. If you are a female, I don't care what color you are, but more so I'm speaking to my sisters. Not excluding my Caucasians, my Asians, my Hispanics, not sis. Just let me speak to my people real quick. Okay? Because we have it the hardest and we are the most overlooked species. I'm just being 100. We are the most overlooked queens. Okay, so let me just speak to them for 1 second. I will say, in a habit sense, I'm glad that came to me as in the process. I'm glad that came to me. Okay, because girl, let me sip this coffee, honey. It's about to get real. I don't know who need to hear it, but I'm about to get it to you straight from the hip. Okay. There was a habit, sis, people, family, that was developed while being married to Monte. And that habit was learning and having to do everything that I would think a man should do in a relationship. Let me clarify. Some men, i.e. Monte, and I'm not talking about Monte. Let me just go ahead and just throw that out there. I'm not talking about him. I will never dog Monte out. I have made the choice, of course, you guys know this, not to deal with him on any type of friendship level, just cordially. That's it. I see him, we speak. He was at the reveal. We briefly talked. There's no hate or malice. Okay? None. I just choose to protect my energy from him. That's it. That's all. So I'm not dogging Monte by any means. Okay? Because he wasn't the husband for me. Okay? Doesn't take away from the fact that he'll make somebody else, as he is right now, a good man. As we all circle around to different people because this relationship didn't work, but we get in this relationship and it's blissful, magical, happy, whatever the case is. No matter how good of a person you think you are or know you are, right? There's always going to be somebody that they find better than you in their mind, and vice versa. Okay? So, the habit that I developed in my marriage was the habit of literally doing what I felt like were things he should have done. Okay? If something broke in our house, he came to me. Sharon, the air conditioner don't work. Sharon, the toilet won't flush. Sharon, right? All things I feel like a man should do. But his idea was that if I am paying bills or bringing my, financial part to the table, that's what the man's part is. Okay. We all have our own opinions and how we think. I think differently than a lot of people. He think different than a lot of people. It is what it is. Okay. The habit that I had created over the years from that was being, and there's nothing wrong with an independent, strong woman, especially us. Okay. Because again, we're so looked over. And we're so looked at as being angry and just aggressive and so misunderstood. Okay? We are. People don't understand that a lot of us got to this place we are to have that title placed on us because we were forced by whomever he was who didn't step up to the plate, like some of you lucky women that's got men that do the manly things. we had to do the manly things while being with a man, okay? And so we gained this strong masculine independence of having to learn how to do certain stuff because he wouldn't or couldn't or couldn't figure it out. My thing has always been this. Every man is not going to know how to fix a car. Every man is not going to know how to build a damn house. Every man ain't going to know how to fix the air conditioning, HVAC, whatever the case is, okay? It's what it is. You are here to do whatever you can do. Whatever your strength is, that's what your strength is. But at the same time, as a man living with a woman in a whole house that y'all have together, if something goes wrong, I'm the last person you should tell other than the fact that, hey, I just got off the phone with the air conditioning people because the air conditioner seemed to be blowing out heat instead of air, and they're on their way, just so you know. Resourceful. There was no resourcefulness. Okay? Like, I know you can't do it. I know you can't finish this basement. But I can. There were no resourcefulness on his part, as far as I am concerned. Just to pick up a phone and say, well, I can't fix it. But hey, look, listen, the septic tank seems to be full at this point. So is there any way I can get somebody out here to, suck the septic tank out? Like, no, it was more or less sharing the ground wet outside. I'm not sure what that means. I'm going to go out there and check it out. And I ain't putting him on blast, but I'm just saying those were the habits of pretty much being overly independent, which is why I say can't nobody take care of Sharon like I can. I have learned to take care of me better than anybody on this damn earth because I have had no choice. So in meeting someone that has put me first, that picked me out and said, you are the one. Oh my God, I need you. I have been praying for you, specifically you. Not her, you. I don't know what that's like. So the habit that I have brought and have been working on, okay, I've been working on it, sis, of allowing someone to do for me in that way, in that gentleman kind of a way, that chivalry, that opening up the car door, the opening up the door before I walk in, all of that. I have to get used to that because, sis, some of y'all have been blessed with that guy. I was not. Okay? Hey, stand outside that car door if you want to. You'll be waiting. Just be waiting, So opening up a car door for myself is nothing. And so it's so embedded in me. And because he's not like that, it's like, he's like, don't touch that door. Don't you touch that door. Because he wants to open it for me. Shut the door when I'm in. It's so different, right? So the habit that I will say I have to scale back on is allowing him to be the man and lead. I have never, even when I was married to my husband, okay, I would have had absolutely no problem now I'm going to tell you would have a different story, of course. I would have had no problem submitting to him and allowing him to do all the manly stuff. No problem whatsoever. However, let me be clear. Okay. When I say submitting, I ain't talking about like 1922 submission. No, not that. I'm saying allowing him to make the decisions of our household, to lead our household, to run our family. And use my assistance as he needed it, right? But let me tell you something about Sharon, okay? And you listen, take this to the bank, sis, too. It's okay to be submissive in a way that you don't demean your man and make him feel like you wear the pants. Okay? There's a difference. There's a fine line with that. Allowing him to be the man and do the manly stuff, make decisions, whatever his strengths are. Okay? Allow him to do that. But listen, I ain't, and don't you follow no fool nowhere. So if he don't know how to lead your family, okay, if you don't know how to do it, don't you follow his ass nowhere, okay? He gonna take you down a dark road and both of y'all gonna be stuck. Somebody need to get out to tell the story. So if he does not possess those manly leadership skills in your life, your family, your household, it's constant turmoil because he don't know what the hell he doing. Sis, Sharon, her, me. Okay, let me speak for me now. I can't follow a fool. Okay, I can't, and I ain't. So if you are leadership, you have leadership skills and the ability to lead me correctly, I would love to sit back and watch my man lead. Love that. I don't know what it's like right now, but I'm learning. This is a process for me. I'm learning. So that's in the long story I took you around the block to get to that. That would be the habit that I am carrying over into my relationship with Ron, is that I have to learn to let him be the man and trust that Ron can do all those things. And Ron is honest enough with me to say, you know what? That ain't my strong point. That's why he's giving me free range to decorate that whole house how I want it to look. How I want it to look. Okay? Period. That's not my strong point. That's yours. Decorate the house. Figure everything out. Whatever you like, I like. Period. Right? So that's the habit that I'm going to have to constantly work on, because it's been all my adult life decision making decisions, having to do what I felt like a man should do, or at least know how to do. If nothing, being resourceful. On the least end of things, being resourceful, being able to pick the phone up is nothing. Hell, Google. Hey, Google, can you know? So that's the only habit, sis, that I would say I'm bringing from a past relationship into my new relationship. But I'm quickly learning and breaking that down, because Ron is definitely very vocal and he lets me know, nope, that's my job. No, have a seat. No. I love it. Oh my God, I love it. Anyway. So we answered that question. She said being complacent is building at times. No, wait a minute. Being complacent is blinding at times, and because both parties in this new relationship are real grown people, as you say, a conscious mind will be needed to see the needs of each other for support. Absolutely agree with that. And with that being said, I kind of covered a little bit of that in my whole spiel just now, that he's a very vocal man and he is very much a leader. And I can totally see myself following him because he's a fair leader. While he is so alpha, and I love it. Alpha in the most positive way. Girl, sip this. Calm down. I just ain't used to it, y'all. I'm just telling you. I just ain't used to it. He's very vocal, okay? And there's nothing like an alpha male that's a gentle, not a crazy ass alpha male who just beat your chest, boom, 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 is my way. No, not that clown. I don't want him either. I'm talking alpha as in leadership, as in can gently check a woman like me who is so extra. He knew I was extra when he met me, which was one of the things that he was attracted to. He knew I was going to be a handful. But I'm very simple at the same time. He knew it though. And he was well prepared to handle it. And has been. So I'll give you an example. We went to I feel like I don't know what grocery store it was. It was one I don't frequent. Because y'all know my favorite is Little and Aldi's. But went to a grocery store and I had a 2-liter Coke in the buggy. And as I'm going down the aisle, they had a sale on, I think, a 24-pack, 6-pack, the bottles, right? The bottles. And I scooped them up. So now I got a 2-liter Coke. Now I got the small. So he said, baby, one of them going to have to go back. No, he said, just go ahead. This is how he was looking. He was like, go ahead, pick the one you want to put back. Because you're not buying all that Coke. Like, nope, not happening. Now, coming from a person who does what they want, say what they want, how they want. Okay. I couldn't get one of them damn Cokes out that buggy quick enough because my man had said that to me. And he said it in a way that wasn't like demeaning or disrespectful, or it was just like, no, baby, no, too much Coke. Put something back. You pick. I'm going to look away. You just put the one back you don't want. That's what I'm talking about. I can follow him. That's too much damn sugar. In fact, you don't even need Coke no way. But okay, that's your thing, Hey, that's what it is. We'll work on it later. But you ain't getting all that Coke, though. So something need to go back. Just like that. So. Woo! It's getting warm in here. Let me get to the end. Okay, so her last question is, do you think you will be completely happy and successful this time around? Now, sis, we can't predict the future. Come on now. I would like to answer that question yes and yes. Okay, without a doubt, hell yeah, yep. But we're talking about real life, right? Hell, I thought I would still be married to Monte to this day. It was till death do us part. And I don't mean death because I killed him. I mean natural death do us part. You know what I'm saying? I thought that is what was going to end our marriage. I never saw remarrying him twice, okay? I thought it was one time and one time only situation, and it was me and him against the world until the very end. I couldn't predict this would be where I am today, okay? So I would love to say yes and yes, right? But we're talking about real life. So, I mean, I don't know no woman that could answer that and just be like, my goal though is to, yes, be completely happy. I'm happy now. And to be successful, I feel like I'm already successful. I don't know if you mean successful as in the relationship itself, but I'm very successful in Sharon by herself, without Ron, without anybody. I am successful. You understand what I'm saying? The love I have for myself, first and foremost, is successful. So Ron is an addition to my already completed happiness. I didn't need Ron to make me happy. I met Ron while I was in a phase in my life where I was already happy with Sharon. Okay, I told you, I know how to make me happy. I know better than anybody how to make this woman right here happy. I treat this woman like the queen she is on her own dime. Okay, now having met Ron, he's in addition to that. He's brought more happiness to an already happy situation, right? So now that balance is there, and I can use his money to fund some of my extracurricular activities. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to say yes and yes. That is my goal, to continue to be happier and get, with him, and for us to be successful together in some way, be it in the relationship or some type of business. I don't know. Because we're both business minded people. We're always thinking about that hustle, baby. We both from the streets that have reconstructed ourselves. So we know more than just book stuff. We know the street life. We can apply it to this life and we can make magic happen. That being said, that answers probably most of you guys' questions. Unless you have some more, send them in. I'll be glad to answer them. I'm an open book. It is what it is. I'll just say this. At this very moment right now, your girl is as happy as a kid in a candy store. He and I both just are simple, very, very, very simple people. And so I just can't even imagine what an argument would look like with either of us, or what the argument would even be about. Like, because we're so much the same, and so just la-di-da, la-di-do. You know what I mean? So back to the van life, just to sum that all up. Yes, I'm still going to purchase the van. He is going to help me build the van out because he has every single tool that I need, okay, to build the van out, or the vehicle. I'll say the vehicle. I keep saying van. The vehicle out, okay, and it's going to become a family travel vehicle. So I'm still going to get my travel with him, and I still am going to be able to enjoy him as well. Now, I read y'all comments, okay, down there talking about some. Now, Sharon, if he wants you to decorate that whole house, okay, it ain't just for him. It's for you to move into the house. That is his goal. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all that right now. It is Ron's end goal, because Ron is a man on a mission. He told me that off the gate. I'm looking for my wife. I found her. I ain't got to look no further. She's here. While he is allowing me to continue to live comfortably how I see fit right now, downsizing to my little 1-bedroom spot or whatever, the van situation, whatnot. Yeah, I'll be glad to help you build that. He's such a tech guy. Now I have someone that can do those things, and I don't have to worry about paying anybody to do it, because he's gonna do it. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful thing. And yes, that is his end goal is marriage. You're my wife. I'm your husband. This house is ours. Okay? And that's what it is. That's the end goal for him. That's the end goal for me. I no longer feel the need, don't care, to entertain, haven't even thought about it. Okay? So, in fact, been already sending out the text messages. In a relationship, no need to text me. No more late night text messages. Don't just I've had the talk. And the main talk really was I needed to have with Dimples. That was the main one. That I really needed to have the talk with. Everybody else, I could ghost them. They were irrelevant, really. Because Dimples did mean a lot to me. Does mean a lot to me. I mean, and I expressed that to Ron as well. That, I needed to have a conversation with him. I felt it was necessary because Dimples was a great part of my life, from helping start this to just our friendship overall. So I did have a conversation with him that I had met somebody, I was serious about him, and he was very respectful and was like, I wish you the best. You deserve to be happy. The end, period. So that being said, hopefully that answers you guys' questions. If you have any more, feel free to email them to me like she did. Number them in order. Hopefully it did answer most of you guys' questions and concerns, or whatever the case is, because we're family. It's like that. And oh my God, what? Girl, if I don't get the hell off here. Okay, I love you guys. To the moon and back. I will catch you guys in the next video. Enjoy this long one. Because I done dropped a long one, I think I'm going to take 2 days off. Just saying. You guys have a blessed, beautiful day. Stay positive, okay? Don't let nobody dictate your mood. But if they do, you do take that move right the hell back, because what? We ain't playing no games. And that is on what? Santa Claus and all the reindeers. And I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.